In this video, I get a chance to be able to compare the iPad mini 6 as well as the iPad Air 4. It's been about a month for me, so let's see what I have to share with you guys and why you should really consider really buying either one. Hola, ¿qué tal mi gente? This is Noan el Boricua, and I am really excited because I get a chance to be able to share with you guys these two devices. As stated earlier, I've had this now. As we know, the iPad mini 6 came out a few months ago. Apple announced it. It was very exciting for many of us. That really, for me personally, I wanted to be able to purchase an iPad mini. I'm a very avid note taker. Unfortunately, I do have a lot of these journals laying around, but I felt that it was time to be able to update. But a year ago, I did purchase the iPad Air 4, and so I have both of these devices here. And I think for me, when I really think about this whole concept of like tech y cultura, or as tech for many of you guys, for me here, Pasión podcast is all about that, right? It's about the cultura, it's about faith y conexiones. So if this is your first time really checking this video out, or maybe there's a follow-up and you haven't subscribed, please hit a like, subscribe, and maybe share this with someone else. So I really wanted you guys to understand that one of the things that the reason why I did purchase this iPad mini 6 was because of the fact that I do take a lot of notes. I do love to write. That's something that I do not only in the work that I do, but also in being able to serve my community, serving my church. There's a lot that I want to do, and a lot of times I always would carry a physical journal. Sometimes it was a moleskin, sometimes it was just your basic like Amazon one that you can order, or sometimes it was one that somebody would give me as a gift. I enjoyed all that, right? One of the big ones that I really enjoyed as of late during this pandemic was really using field notes and having an actual like leather, and it's cool. It's a nice premium feel. It's almost for many of you that love EDC stuff, like what's that everyday carry look like? For me, that was me, but I've transitioned, and I felt that when Apple announced the iPad mini 6, I was like, I think it's about to it's time to change it up. Prior to that, I noticed that for me, as a content creator, I've been in this game now for a year. I have a podcast, and of course, we have a YouTube channel. I also utilize the YouTube channel to be able to display many of my videos on IGTV. So for me, one of the biggest things that I needed was not only utilize a laptop. For the most part, all of my podcasting, I utilize it here on my MacBook Pro. And then what's really weird, again, I consider myself, all right, let's think about it as martial arts. I had the opportunity to practice Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, and there's, a varied of colored belts. You have a white belt, the blue belt, and then you have the purple belt, the brown belt, and then the coveted black belt. I believe that I am a 4th degree white belt in what I've been doing, because you need to master everything, the principles of what it is to, be a content creator. So for me, one of the cool things that I've enjoyed is that I've been utilizing this iPad Air 4, and shout out, I've been using Apple products, so clearly we have the Magic Keyboard. But not only that, we did a video, so if you guys want to check it out, put it here on my first, just D brand product, and this has been a really cool addition. I also did it for my iPad mini 6. I kind of did it on the back of the actual iPad. But for me, one of the coolest things that I really enjoyed was understanding, okay, we have an iPad Air 4. I'm new to the game. How do I go get into this? So one of the first things that I did is I downloaded LumaFusion. Now, full disclosure, nobody here sponsored this video. Everything that I'm offering you guys is clearly items that I've purchased or items that I've already had. So LumaFusion was one of those apps that I purchased. It was a one-time buy, which I really enjoyed because of the fact that as the upgrade that has recently happened, maybe we'll do a video on this on LumaFusion, but there's a lot of good ones out there. One of the best things that I loved about it, it's almost, shout out to some of my friends out there, content creators, they have Final Cut Pro. I can't afford that right now, so I can't. I have this laptop here. I didn't want to use the video editor. It's a great video editor, but I thought for the price of just literally, for a price of a shirt, I got to download LumaFusion, and I really enjoyed it. The options, the plugins, everything that I can do, this iPad Air 4 did it. But what are the actual comparisons if we were to just talk straight up? Number one, first of all, clearly the size is different, right? This bad boy is 11 inch, and then this one, man, I'm gonna have to fact check myself here. I think this is like 8 inch? 8.3. 8.3. Thank you for my production team. So 8.3, first of all, in the size. So we clearly know. The second thing that I will let you know that I really enjoyed is that with the iPad Pencil 2, not only can I just utilize it for the iPad Mini 6, I can also do it for the iPad Air 4. So that's also something that I really enjoyed about this. So right off the bat, one of the first things I will say is size. When we think about just colors, clearly I got the blue because I'm a Dodger fan. I'm from Los Angeles, so I'm always going to lean to blue, even though you may see I do like colors that pop as well. So I did get the electric orange case for this one. But when I think about this, there's 5 options that you can choose with the iPad Air. There's 4 options that you can choose as far as colors, and we clearly know that they start off at $5.99 versus $4.99. I think that's where it gets a little stickler of a situation. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is pretty expensive. This is why I said Apple did not sponsor this, nor did they lend me one. But yo, feel free to send it on over. I've been more than happy to continue to learn how to storytell and to be able to share videos like this. Again, just kind of going through it. When we think about the chip under the hood, this iPad Air has an A14 Bionic chip with a neural engine. And then the iPad Mini 6, we out here rocking with an A15 Bionic chip. They both go up to 256 gigabytes, which I will say, I do have, I went all out on the memory with the iPad Air. I only went with the entry-level memory on the Mini because, again, when I think about the workhorse that I'm looking at, this is and many of you guys can say, wait a minute. I watched a lot of videos. Again, 4th degree white belt, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a pro yet, but I would highly suggest. What's cool also that I will say, I haven't utilized it, but what's crazy is that the iPad Mini actually has a 12 megapixel wide front camera. I haven't really utilized it all that much. I have done a couple Zoom calls on the iPad Air, of course 7 megapixels, but you can also utilize both of these if you want to do a Wi-Fi cellular with your choice of carrier. 100%, there is a higher cost with that, but I will say this, the reason why I've used this for a month avidly, look, I've played games on the iPad Air. The Mini, of course, wins because it's just like, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of awkward when I'm like going like this with a big iPad Air versus like a Mini where it's more like, you guys know what I mean. But I think it's kind of cool that you can play games with both of these. I've also noticed that even like, for example, if I had my PS5, well, I don't have a PS5, but a PS5 controller, you can kind of connect it via Bluetooth to my phone. I haven't tried that with the iPad Air or the Mini yet, but that's something I might want to look at. But I think the biggest thing, the reason why I enjoy the iPad Air is, again, this is a beast of a machine. It has an M1 chip in it. So for me, it's, well, hold on. Pause.
A14.
Is it A14?
Yeah.
The Pro.
Pro.
Okay. Even though this doesn't have an M1 chip like the Pro does, for me, this thing, look, I've done a year of videos that I've posted on IGTV. Go check it out, my Instagram, and you will see the quality of the work that I went from my cell phone to then going to a DSLR M50 Canon camera, which maybe one day I'll do a video on that. But for now, like, I utilized that and I moved all that work over to this iPad Air for an A14 Bionic chip. Like, yo, it's amazing. For me, it's worked well. But I will say this, the iPad Mini 6, a lot of people have been complaining about the fingerprint. Now, again, I'm used to it, as you guys know, because, and bring this in shot. Whoop. This here has also the fingerprint, so I'm used to it. Now, the placement of it, because there's so much real estate they used on the iPad Mini 6, I can understand why the buttons are where they're at. I'm used to it. It's been a month. When I watch content, the buttons are on the bottom, so clearly it's like up, down, but I don't know, I think I'm used to it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real. I was kind of like confused. I will say the tip and trick that I've seen from many reviewers that are the black belts of the game have said add additional fingerprints, which makes sense. So like I have my additional fingerprint here, I have it here, I even sometimes have my middle finger if I was in the middle of writing something. So the fingerprint, and as far as the controls, you will get used to it if you were to decide to go with the iPad mini 6. Now the reason why I love this iPad mini 6 is because, again, I do a lot of, my day job is a recruiter. I'm out in the community, I'm out at job fairs. Granted, maybe not as much because of COVID, but as I'm getting there, one of the biggest things that I wanted to do was how can I utilize something that I don't have to keep changing out? And that was this right here. The fact that I could do my notes is the reason why I really love this iPad mini 6. So if you're looking for a gift, if there's someone that really loves you, this is the one you tell them to get you, right? But I would also say, when I think about the importance of just creative, this is the big reason. The other reason is also the battery life on this bad boy is amazing. Like, there's been days that I go with this and I'm constantly either in GoodNotes or I'm in Notion or, wherever I am in just like being productive and just having these certain apps that I'm pushing through and writing notes. The battery on this is amazing. And for me, because I'm not doing any kind of editing on the iPad mini 6, again, you can, but I don't. I just don't need to. Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to take some notes and hopefully write some good stuff. And the only app that I did download on here, and I think it's like, I know we have voice memo, but I did buy an app I think it's like voice record. I don't know where I put it on here. And it's really cool because of the fact that as I'm taking notes, I can have that and I could just kind of say what I'm doing, and then it'll actually give it out in text, and then I can go in and export it into Apple Notes, and then I can really deep dive and draw things out. But I think for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, if it is in your price range, maybe you already own an iPad and you've been waiting to upgrade, you can't go wrong. There's some good deals out there with the iPad Air 4, but also know that with the iPad mini 6, maybe you hold off. I'm not gonna lie, $499 for entry-level iPad mini 6 it's expensive. It's not something that I would just recommend for everyone, but if you are that creative that is looking to find ways to be more productive, and maybe you're thinking sustainability, right, not utilizing so much paper, I would highly recommend the iPad mini 6. I enjoy it. I love it. I clearly have an ecosystem here, from a MacBook to my phone, where I don't know where it is right now, to these two products, including my watch. They're all cohesive. You guys already know this stuff. But again, I'm just a 4th degree white belt in content creation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Como siempre, check out fuelpasionpodcast.com. We're excited. We have a new season that's going to be coming up. We will be taking a Christmas break in 2021. Yo, if you guys have any ideas that you guys want, como, hey, Noan, queremos saber un poco más de, what apps are you utilizing? Let me know. Shoot it in the comments. There's some ideas. Look, I've had some people reach out asking me to actually do like a how did you get started kind of a mini series. So I'm simmering on that just because I'm really honored. Look, I don't even have like 50 subscribers on YouTube, which is fine. It's not about that. If anything, I just want to hopefully relate to some of you out there that you're just like, yo, I can relate to you. I'm barely getting started. And if that's you, man, welcome to the channel. Let me know what you'd love to see. But I think one of the things that I do want to show you guys is how to get started with the podcast and how to get started with the YouTube channel. We had to pause because there was sirens. We're clearly where we're located. There's a hospital. So again, yo, I'm just a white belt in martial arts of content creation. So for any of you guys out there, if you guys feel that you guys want to hit me up with some pro tips, let me know. I'm still learning. Pero más que todo, remember, dentro de cultura, there's wonderful moments like music, art, but also cultura of tech. And for many of us, if you identify as brown, black, Asian, look, a lot of us, when we think about, inclusivity, I ain't trying to go off topic, but I think it's beautiful to see a lot of content creators of color. And I'm one of them. I'm in the game, and I would love to hear from you. So I hope you guys can take this from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that's what we got, man.